And our questions you can take it at the end. Okay. So the topic will be debating.
Right. So based upon this data mapping sheet, let us try to construct our data type. Okay, so why data types are required? Because that will enforce your validations. Okay, so data types will be used to enforce validations. Okay, so that will be taken care by your API Git router. Okay, so let us try to see this way. So we have examples. Okay, so this is my request. Okay, so based upon this particular request, okay, we are going to construct the data type for request. Okay, so the post organization data type, okay, request data type that we are going to create it. So let us try to create here. Okay, so we are not going to create under examples, we are going to create under libraries with a new folder called data types. Okay, so let me type in. Okay, so here we're going to have two sections. Okay, so one is request type and another one is response type as a similar way. Okay, so let us try to create that folder as well. So here we are creating a request for or request data type for post organization. Okay, so we need to create a new file. Okay, so here you need to write down something. Hey, here something like data type. Okay, so this is the file type that we are defining. Okay, so whenever you're creating any JSON file or anything, so you will try to select other. Okay, but here what we are trying to create, we are creating a reusable component of ramen. Okay, so here we need to select what kind of type that we are creating. Okay, so let us try to change it. This is for post organization. Okay, request data type. Okay, so you can have request data type. Okay, so this is the file that we are going to create it. The moment you are creating, so here you can see this particular data type. Okay, so everything will have a very specific type. So you can see it on the first line. Okay, so what is that particular? Okay, so based upon this thing, it will have the corresponding things. So if you are removing it, you will get this kind of issue. So you need to have, okay, so aware, you need to have this particular type that needs to be specified on top of. Okay, and whereas what about this thing? Okay, so if I remove this thing, what will happen? See, the moment I remove that, so everything is grayed out. Okay, which means that your first line is going to define, hey, what is this particular RAML section is all about. Okay, so this is what we call test the header level information or root level information. So that defines what we are doing inside that particular file. Okay, now here we need to construct a data type. So how to construct it? Okay, so here I need to specify what kind of type we are getting. Okay, so I need to write what kind of fields that are that we are expecting. Okay, so in each field level, we need to write down whether that is required field or not. What kind of type that we are expecting. Okay, a different maximum length. All these things we will try to define it. Okay, so let us try to specify a type. Okay, so here multiple things are coming. But if you look at this particular request JSON, so what is this particular thing? Is it an object or is it an array?
Object only.
Object only. Okay. So if I'm saying this kind of thing,
Array.
okay, which means that it is a collection of objects, then it is an array. Okay, so it will have a different, pattern altogether in data type. So we need to add some more other stuff. But as of now, we are expecting only one object with multiple fields. Okay, within that particular object, multiple fields will be there. Okay, so if I'm telling about you, so you will have your name, your height, something like that. So this is telling about your properties or your features. Okay, so here the organization level, we will have these fields. It is telling the story about that particular organization. Okay, so go on mute, guys. Now I need to define that particular thing. So it is not all these things. It is an object. Okay, the top level, I have an object. Now, what I need to define? Okay, so additional properties, properties. What are the properties? Okay, I do have, okay, so let us try to refer this thing. I do have a name parameter. So I need to type in. So it will not come always. Okay, because this is a customized field, or this Ravel doesn't know what field you are expecting. So you need to type that particular field colon. Here you need to specify what kind of type it is. So this particular type is telling about this particular property. Okay, this particular type is telling about the entire payload. Okay, so the entire payload is object, and this particular field is what kind of field. So it is a string field. Okay, and this particular field is required is equal to true. Why I'm saying required is equal to true? I need to check my data mapping sheet for that. Okay. So my external system is expecting all these fields as required, which means that I need to specify that, or at least my system API needs to get that information. Otherwise, it can't, pass it to that particular external system while calling it. Okay, which means that whoever is calling my system API, I need to get those fields. Okay, so this is my source of truth, and based upon this particular thing, I'm going to define my data types. Okay, so here I have name and target, maximum length, numbers, everything is there. So I need to define all these things. Okay, so we don't have that much bandwidth. Okay, so if we have some time, so we will discuss one more topic. Okay, so I'm just trying to copy this particular thing from here. Okay, so we'll try to see quickly. Name is equal to string true, SFDC ID is equal to number, account status string. Okay, time zone, address 1, address 2, address 3, city, state, postal code, and country, active contracts. Active contracts is Boolean. Boolean is nothing but true or false case. Okay, string and numbers we know, but this one is Boolean. Boolean in sense like whether it is pass, true or false. Okay. Is my voice breaking?
No.
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 Maybe Shavni, check your side. Maybe your internet connectivity is not consistent. Okay, so this particular data type I'm going to define here. Okay, so here we are specifying, hey, what is the field? Okay, whether it is what kind of data type we are expecting, what kind of, I mean, so whether it is required or not, we are expecting. Okay, we are saying, okay, even this particular maximum length and everything we are going to define it. Okay, so SFDC ID, so I can define my maximum. Okay, so we are saying maximum is equal to 20, which means that why I'm saying, because my data mapping sheet is saying my target system is expecting only 20 characters for this SFDC ID. If they are sending more than 21, so I don't want to accept it. Okay, my system API should not accept it. Why? Because I'm just trying to send it to external system. It will reject based upon this thing. So why to take that particular risk from my system API? Okay, I should not accept, which is not accepting by my external system. Okay, so here you just need to understand. So we are just writing a simple thing. Okay, we are writing a system API. Okay, what kind of system API we are writing? We are writing OSVC system API. Why OSVC system API? Because we are connecting with OSVC system. Okay, so this is my target system. Okay, is OSVC. Okay, so we are just writing this particular layer. So I'm getting an organization data. Okay, so here I'm writing Raman. So whatever the fields it is expecting my target system, I'm writing here. Okay, so however it is expecting. So what kind of types, what kind of values, whether it is required or not, everything we are writing here. Okay, only this particular piece we are writing. Okay, so here I can define for each and every field. So you will have multiple properties, guys. Okay, so display name. Okay, so you don't require, but minimum, maximum. Okay, so example. So you can you can give some example also. Okay, so even for this one, so let us try to give some example, something like this. Okay, else.
So we are writing. So we are creating for OSVC, right? Which one? I don't know. No, DSVC, target system based RML, right?
Sorry.
So target system based only we are writing, right?
Yeah.
OSVC, yes. Yes. So this is
So
RML
we are
for OSVC.
writing OSVC system API, okay, which
Okay.
is where we are passing the data back to OSVC system.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here we define this thing, but example how to define this thing. Okay, so I'm writing something like this. Okay, so it is, are we getting an error? We are not getting. Okay, but if we are defining at this level, okay, so are we getting, okay, so what kind of this thing? Example value should be less than or equal to 20. Okay, so it is less than or equal to 20. Okay, let it be like this. Okay, so this is how I define my data type, the request data type. Okay, so this one, I want to use it inside my resource type. Okay, so here I need to say, okay, so there is something called what? So can you guys tell me? So what I need to specify here? What kind of keyword to specify data type? Do we have data type?
Type.
Okay, so type I need to specify. So here, what kind of type? Tell me now.
It's an object only.
But we already defined that particular type, right? So we have this particular type, request data type. I want to use this thing, not an object or anything. So I want the incoming structure, something like this. Okay. So let us try to define that particular data type here. Okay. By using a keyword. Okay. So which one I need to define?
Type.
Okay. So types.
Yeah.
Okay. So here I'm saying post organization request. Okay. So I'm trying to write down include, okay, libraries, data types, requests, and this one. Okay. So this type I define in a global section. Okay. And here going to my resource here, I define something like this. I'm not defining object or anything. So I'm setting, hey, it is not an object or anything or string or anything. So this should be something like this particular structure. Okay. So whenever you're adding any data type, you need to globally declare it. And you need to use that particular global declaration keyword or this particular, key back to your resource type. You need to define it here. Okay. So similar way, we are expecting some response also. Okay, what kind of response we are expecting? That is also defined inside your, this thing. This is the response that we are expecting. Okay, the same response we are getting it. So this particular response, I need to specify inside my system API, and this is the expectation from my experience API layer. Okay, so this part we will try to see it later point of time, but at least this one, we're expecting, or we are going to send it this kind of response. Okay, so we already defined that particular response example. Okay, so this is the response we are expecting. So we need to define a similar way. So this is also object. I need to create one more data type for my response also. Okay, so let me create a new file. This is also a data type. Okay, so this is post organizations. Organization I have created. Okay. Response data type. Okay. Here I need to create a similar structure which is for my response. Okay, I don't want all these fields. Let me remove it. Okay, so let us try to see our actual this thing. So we are getting something like organization name, SFTC ID, and message. So let us try to copy these fields back to here. Organization name is this thing, SFTC ID is equal to number. Okay, account status we are getting, no, message we are getting. Okay, so message is string, it is true, and code. Okay, so my external system is sending something like this. So we are just constructed this thing. So this doesn't require this thing.
I think
Okay,
code is number, right? Instead of string.
yeah.
Is it 200, 201? Yeah.
Thanks for that. So number two. Okay, so this defines my response structure, and I need to add it in the global level. Okay, so let me add response. Okay, so we added something, but still we are not getting it. Okay. Responses. Yeah, the issue here, the folder structure is not correct. So that's fine. Okay, so post organizations response. This one also I'll try to give it here. Okay, so 201 body application JSON. So here I'm going to specify this particular type, post organizations response. Okay, so always try to check it here. So whether you are getting it or not. Okay, so error should be SFDC ID should be less than or equal to 20. Okay, less than or equal to. Okay, fine. So what's the problem there?
Where we declared example there, it yes, here only error it is showing.
So maximum we have specified 20.
No. It's showing an example. Yeah, here it is. Maximum 20, and below line example is there. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this pattern, getting error is showing as red. So maximum 20. Okay, minimum we are not mentioned. So maximum 20. It is there.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is
Minimum at least 10 8, how many characters? 8 characters means it will be maybe. No, it will declare, but example only getting error.
so what will be the issue, guys?
Minimum 10 members, right? There are
So
8
here
members only you gave me.
Okay, so let us try to change it to 5.
I don't think so. This is error because see, the maximum minimum when we test in the basic ML, then only it
Just
will
in the
show.
basic
But
grammar, right?
so there only it will show. But here example is the issue because we already mentioned as a number, so no need this pattern. I think so. This example.
Okay.
Yes. So
Now,
is any error here?
Example, we need to pass, right?
example, are we not passing anything?
So no.
I think in resource types is getting error libraries.
Resource types.
Mm.
Okay. Organizations. Where exactly?
Okay. And let me again. You can
Library
write that.
resource.
Yeah.
Organization resource types.
Okay, so I'm going to organization resource type. Okay. So somewhere we have defined something. So it is, if I remove this thing, it is gone. But what I need is I want to restrict that particular thing to maximum. Okay, is 20
So-
characters. That one I need it. If I remove this is gone. So everything is clean and neat. Okay.
Just check with the length. Something. Just enter
Okay,
it.
so
Yeah.
you guys need to tell me. So yesterday I asked some other thing. So have you tried it? The API kit router validations. Okay, so get me this thing. What is the issue? Okay, just try to create this particular data type and add this particular maximum and try to strictly validate that. Okay, so if we are just adding it, so we are getting some issue. Okay, so just make sure that how to resolve this particular thing. Just practice it. A tiny thing, a very tiny thing. You just need to understand that. Okay, so this particular data type and response data type I have defined. Okay, I'm going to globally declare those things, and inside my organization's this thing. So we define this thing. Okay, so your request data type. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to put it something like this thing. The moment we are typing in something, okay, which is not aligned to your data type, we are getting this particular error. Okay, which means that your example and your data type should be in sync. Otherwise, you are getting an error. Okay, so just understand the thing and try to solve that particular thing maximum. Okay, so somewhere we need to add something or we need to modify something. Okay, so I'll try to give this particular ramel. You can try it out there. Okay, now this
Just try
thing
it with the min length and max length there.
So just write your
Okay.
side, guys. Okay,
Okay.
so just tell me. Okay, now this is where I created my ramel. Okay, so here one more thing that we need to add it inside your projects, which is nothing but who added it. Okay, so who modified it. So those kind of stuff we need to add it. Okay, so that is what we call it as version logging. Okay, so who modified it, under what Jira we are going to modify it, or what task that we are going to modify. Okay, so we need to add that particular thing here. Okay, so that is what I called version logging or change log. Okay, which means that it is going to tell me that who modified this particular ramel. Okay, so I need to add some version logging. So I'm just trying to say created by, okay, your full organization. I mean, so your, employee code or your name. Generally, we will try to specify your employee name and employee code for your client. Okay, you're creating these things for your client. Okay, you need to specify that. And apart from this, you need to specify what you have added. Okay, so I have added which resource? An organization resource, only post method I have added. Okay, so I need to specify something like this by doing okay. So later point of time, okay, so you move this particular code to different environments, and later point of time, you're changing some field or you're adding some more field. So you need to add that particular change log. Okay, one line statement, nothing more. Okay, so when added, created by this on which date? Okay, 24th. So this date, I just added this particular resource. Okay, now this particular thing is done. Okay, but here one more thing that we need to add is my Jira task. Okay, so what is this Jira? Okay, so we'll try to explain in a very specific scenario. See, whenever we are dealing with multiple projects, okay, so you're working for your client. Okay, my bad. Okay, you're working for your client and you're working for your mule projects. Okay, but your client is dealing with multiple softwares. Okay, so they want to manage or they want to see what is going on. Okay, what tasks are completed. Okay, how much time each project is taking. Okay, how many resources are working. All this information they want to see it, and they want to track each and every task. Your managers, your leads, everyone needs to track it. Your lead will have something like 20 members. So they want to understand, right? So who is working on what? Okay, what task it is, okay, where exactly it is, whether it is deployed to development or anything. So no one is going to remember all these things. So that's why what they will try to do, they will try to deal with your project management tools. Okay, so what is this particular project management tools will do? So it will try to track it down your changes, your so you will try to update this particular tools saying that, hey, you are working on some task, or your lead is going to assign you some task. Okay, so it is not through emails, they are going to deal with your project management tools. Okay, one of the project management tool is your Jira. Okay, so the other one is Azure DevOps boards. Okay, one more thing is TFS, Team Foundation Server. This is from Microsoft. Okay, so any of these tools, they will try to use it. Okay, some projects they will try to communicate through emails. That is a different story. But at least if you are working for good mules of projects, or if you have 5 to 6 members, they will try to definitely use a project management tools. Okay, now this particular thing, okay, we are going to use Jira. At least one tool we need to understand it. So we are going to take care of our Jira. Okay, so let us try to create our Jira board. Okay, so in Jira, we are going to create projects. Okay, we call epics. Okay, tasks. Normally, so if I'm trying to ask you, hey, work on this particular experience API, I will try to create a task. Okay, you can create defects. Okay, these kind of different things we are going to create it. Okay, you will not create all these things. Okay, your project manager or your project lead is going to create it, and they are going to assign it to you. Sometimes if they are asking you to create a task, yes, it is your responsibility to create that task. Okay, it is not a rocket science. Let us try to see the Jira board. Okay, let me open something. so this is a existing project for July batch. So let me create a new project. Okay. So this is not your requirement, but so your project leads or delivery heads are going to use this particular thing to create a project. Okay. So we are creating a project signals, and under that multiple these things are there. Multiple experience APIs are there, multiple system APIs are there. Okay. So I need to track down all those, tasks. So that's why I'm creating a new project. Okay, so it is a common team. Okay, so let me give it. Okay, Cygnus. Okay. All right, so let me create a project. Just a moment. Mhm. All right. So I created this particular project. Okay, under this, what I'm dealing with. So I'm creating this particular API. Okay, so to create this particular API, what I need to create a system API. Okay, under that, I need to create an organization. Okay, I need to create experience API post organization resource also. So this one, I will try to treat it as two different tasks. Okay, one is to create system API, one is to create my experience API. So I need to specify a task, or I'm clicking on create. Okay, so it is asking me, hey, which project you want to create it? What kind of type that you are creating? Okay, I'm not creating an epic or anything. So I'm creating a task. Okay, so this one, I need to specify, okay, some task. So here I'm saying, okay, so we are already getting it. So this one I'm creating it. So this is a system API task. So here I need to tell, hey, which member I need to assign it. Okay, so what they will try to do is they will try to add few peoples here. Okay, which means that whoever is coming to under my team, I will try to add it over here. Okay, so that I can assign the task to you. So you will get notified by email saying that, hey, this particular task is assigned to you. So the moment you are opening your Jira board, you will get to know what is there, which task is assigned. Okay, so can someone create, if someone is having this particular Jira, can you guys, give me that particular email ID so that I can add it here? Nothing you need to do. You need to create a Atlassian account. That's it. Okay, so how to create a new Jira? See, whenever you are going to projects, you will not create this thing. Okay, they are going to assign it. Okay, so once you are joining your client organization, it will be automatically created, and they will try to tell you the username and password, or you will need to reset that particular username and password. Okay, so anyone can create an Atlassian account with a email ID. Okay, so go to sign up. Okay, so let me click on login. Okay, so it is all automatically logging in, but you can actually create a sign up, a simple sign up place. Okay, so we are looking at this particular tool, the Jira tool. Okay, so this particular company has built all these things.
I think
Okay,
this is licensed, maybe.
no.
No.
Okay, so whenever we are using for corporates, we are going to take the license. Okay, so we got something Vamshi's email. So let us try to add that. See, we are using for public uses, so we don't have that thing. So we don't have all the features, okay? But whenever we are dealing with your projects, they will try to purchase this particular license, okay?
Yes, yes.
So let us try to add this guy. Okay, I can't change the role because it is a like trial version or a public version, so I can't change the rules. Okay, but whenever I'm dealing with your projects, okay, so real-time projects, I will purchase this particular tool. I can change it as a developer or something. Okay, so you will have very limited features. Okay, you can't change everything. You can't delete tasks. Okay, so let us try to add this particular guy. Okay, so I'm just trying to add Vamshi. Okay, so Vamshi, you can share your screen and you can show us that particular invite. You can mute yourself. Chandu. Okay. Whatever. So you can share your screen and you can open that particular email. You don't require to show your entire Gmail. Just open that email. You can share it. I just gave the access. Okay. Meanwhile, any questions? Guys? Oh, I'm echoing. Just a moment. So, anything that you have doubt on this particular piece? So, whatever we have discussed till now. Okay, we are not doing anything. So, we are just simply creating a request responses and we are defining data types. Okay, all these particular tasks. Okay, we are doing it right, but someone needs to tell us, hey, do this particular task. Okay, that is, they are going to do it using your Jira. Okay, so this is the tool. They are going to assign a task. Okay, yeah, go on.
So they assign a task like us, create a system API for this
Yeah.
mapping sheet, right?
Yeah. So they will try to add data
Yes,
mapping
yes.
sheet and architectural document in the Jira also,
Yeah.
so that you don't require to go to any SharePoint location, rather than you can directly see it.
I have
That is
used
how.
ticketing tool actually, Zaira. So this one I haven't used, but ticketing tool I used to close the tickets. So any
Yeah.
production issues and all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thing, guys? See,
But
if you have,
yes, please
sorry.
continue. Yeah, actually, I need. Yesterday I received that video, but last 2 days also required, and the documents also. So that then I will create the ML and all from myself.
Okay, so Kishore, can we create that class?
Yeah, today I'll create it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Guys, please
so
post your mail IDs in the group.
Sure, sure.
Chandu, if you are able to see that particular email, you're on mute.
No, I didn't receive.
Uh-huh. Just a moment. Check it your spam email also. Not invite. Why? Maybe. Okay, so any others email, guys? I think his email address. Are you able to log into this thing?
Jira.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So you gave me the Atlassian account. Okay, so we got Mahisa's email. Just a moment. So let me add it. You might get the thing, Mahisa. So guys, just try to create an Atlassian account using your email. So not your, direct Gmail sign up. Okay. So create, type in something. Okay. Not like, clicking SSO or something. Okay. So try to create an account, and that particular account, we can actually add it here. Okay. So at least you will get some insight. So Mahisa, you got your email?
Yes, I'm checking.
Mhm. So meanwhile, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add some steps here.
Do we have predefined terminologies to add the steps here?
Yeah, I mean, so basically your project leads or delivery heads will have some process flow, so they will try to add it. Okay, but it's not your headache, so your project manager's headache.
So actually, what I've observed is this varies with the organization for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ideally, like the best approach, what I could think of was using someone's flow to create this one, right? Like
Yeah, but so your organizations will define all these standards, but so everyone will have a different naming conventions. Okay, so here I'm saying dev deployed. Okay, so someone will say dev ready, something like that. Okay, so everyone will have their own standards, but yeah, to be precise, it's not, at least we will not create this particular process flow. So they are going to define it at delivery heads epic level. Okay, so let us try to create in progress. Dev deployed.
Rework anything like, so suppose done, it is done, the progress, task is completed, but we got any error in between. So reinitiate the work to that developer again.
Yeah, in progress, you will try to put it. Again, you
Again
need
in,
to do that.
yeah, okay.
You haven't got it, myself. Okay, so let it be like that. Okay, so I'll try to see. Just create your emails with this particular thing, guys. Okay, Atlassian account. So I'll try to add it here so that you can actually view. Okay, so this is my view as a project manager. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a new task. Okay, so here the task is creating a organization's resource under this particular system API. So I will try to specify something like this. This is my standard. Okay, so someone will say create organization system API. So they will try to say something like this. Okay, but more or less, if I create something like this, the moment I look at this particular task summary, okay, I can easily get it what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, so here we're going to attach your these things. Okay, your architectural documents. Okay, so let us try to print the screen. Okay, and I need to attach the data mapping sheet. Okay, so here I'm just trying to attach, okay, pictures, screenshots, this one. Okay, so we are attaching that particular screenshot so that you get to know what is your system API name, what is your resource name. Okay, and I need to link my data mapping sheet also. Okay, or else I can attach it. So here I'm trying to attach, okay, my data mapping sheet. So this one I'm attaching it. Okay, so as of now, I don't have any one, so I'm just assigning it to me. Okay, so for time's sake. Okay, I'm creating this particular task, so I need to add some description here saying that, hey, I need to give you some insight, right? So create new resource. Okay, under SA1001 OSVC system API for SFDC to OSVC post organization API. Okay, so I'm just trying to create this particular Jira task. Okay, so this particular task I created, so it is in to do, which means that one thing that we need to do it for this particular project. So they are going to create multiple tasks. One more task we need to create it. That is nothing but for my experience API. Okay. So for my experience API, I need to create a post organizations API only. Okay. I need to attach my this thing. Okay. So let me add pictures, camera roll, no camera roll. Screenshots, this one. Okay, and I need to browse my data mapping sheet. Okay, so where is that? Okay, so this is for my experience API, guys. Okay, so I'm just assigning it to me and I'm creating this particular Jira task. So for one particular API, so I created two tasks. So this particular task I can assign to some other person. Okay, so this particular task I need to assign it to some other team member. Okay, based upon your task you are going to work on which piece you need to really take care of it. Okay, so some fellows what they will try to do is for creating raml they will try to create a task. Okay, so for transformation logics they will try to create a task. Okay, which means that at very minute level they will try to create it, but at least this is how we will try to create for most of the projects. Okay, so this one, okay, I got these two tasks, just assume that. Okay, what I will try to do is, I will try to change this particular task to something like in progress or something. So I already started this particular task. Okay, so what I will try to do, I will try to make this particular status change it to in progress, which means that I started this particular task. Okay, so here I will try to update on 24th, right? Yeah, 24th, 2022. Okay, let's just do something like this. Activity. Okay. raml created. Okay. Created per SA1001. Okay. And published to exchange. We haven't published that, but I'm trying to say something like this. So I will try to update my task, what I have done. Okay, so I will try to mark it under my Jira. I'll try to update it. Okay, which means that whoever is my project manager, he will not directly ask me saying that, hey, where is this particular task? How much you completed? No, he is not going to ask. So he is going to refer this particular thing. Okay, he will try to see that particular comments and he is going to check this particular status, whether it is developed, deployed completely to development, whether it is deployed to SIT. So whether it is started, all these things you will try to see it here. Okay, so the moment you're looking at here, so we change the progress to in progress, right? So it is coming to this particular section. This is not started yet, so this is started. Okay, if I'm changing it to dev deployed, so it is moving this particular thing. So if you have 20 different tasks, he will understand, okay, which task is in which state. Okay, so this is how you are going to get your task. Okay, so as a lead, this is my responsibility to understand what needs to be developed and who needs to be developed and what pieces I need to give it to which person. Okay, so it is your team lead headache, not yours. Okay, but what you need to do is you need to update this particular status based upon what you have doing. Okay, so I'm making it as an in progress again. Why? Because it is still under development. Okay, so it will come here. Okay, any question, whatever we discussed till now?
I have a few questions.
Uh-huh.
In general, there is more to the information than just about update of the task. We there could be timelines and other details.
Yeah,
So
they
where
will
do
try
we
to
refer
update it
those?
here. Okay, so let me see this. Actually, for this one, what they will try to do is they will try to configure feeds, guys. Okay, so project settings. Okay, so we don't have that much flexibility, but inside that particular Jira, so they will try to have one more sections, fields. Okay, they will try to specify what is the production date. Okay, who is who is your delivery manager, everything they are going to define it over there. Okay, so add apps. Yeah, so we don't have that particular flexibility, but see, whenever your project will purchase this thing, right? So they will have few more features. There you can see it actually.
Okay,
Okay, when is
generally we see that in the root folder itself, right? Like, because while initiating the project, we have all the timelines.
okay,
in
so
checklist.
that is like Epic,
Okay.
Ashish. Okay, Epic level they will try to. So we can actually create an Epic. Okay, but that level we are not taking. So it will confuse a few folks. Okay,
Of course, yeah. Thanks.
all right. So this particular task I'm dealing with. Okay, so this is my Jira number. If I'm clicking on this particular thing, so it is telling about only this particular Jira, so only this particular task. Okay, so why all this particular story? So here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to copy this particular Jira and I'm going to use it inside this particular thing. Okay, so here I need to modify. Okay, so here I need to specify what is my Jira number. Okay, why this particular Jira number is required. So it will give you who worked on it, when it is deployed. Okay, when it is completed, every other thing it will tell me. So that's why I need to specify my Jira number also here. Okay, so here the change version, we are saying who created it, when it is created, what he has done, under what Jira we created this thing. Okay, so we are going to attach it something like this. Okay, and we are going to enrich all this particular information. Okay, so we created this particular thing. So let us try to publish this particular thing to Exchange. We already mentioned something. We already say that, hey, this is already published. Okay, let's try to do that. So I'm clicking on publish to Exchange. Okay, what is the requirement or why we need to publish it to Exchange? What is the purpose?
So some other person also will access through Exchange, and we have to import through Studio. From Studio, we can import from Exchange.
Okay,
So
fine.
any other
So
modifications also, if it is happen, it will, that version is 1.0.1. So suppose we have updated types we removed, so the version will be changed 1.0.1. So that latest version we can download again from Exchange to here in Studio, because this is the steps we can.
So basically, while you're developing your RAML, so you will try to publish it to Exchange. Okay, so why we need to publish it to Exchange? Because your experience API person wants to see that, okay, what you're expecting. Okay, so that's why what we are doing is we are publishing it to Exchange. So that is the source of truth for me. What is implemented? I'm not looking at code. I will look at it Exchange only. Okay, so let us try to publish it to
One more
Exchange.
question. And stable is development. Two options are there. So development means still need to means any enhancement at the time we have to click on development, or
Just a moment. Let us try to see it.
okay.
Just a moment. Okay, so here we are just trying to publish it. Okay, so he is talking about this thing,
Yes,
stable and
yes,
development.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so if you have, like, you are not fully enriched this particular RAML. parts of it you want to publish it to Exchange, you will make it as development. Okay, but you are confident that, okay, so this is a fully functional YAML, then you can say it as a stable version. Okay, stable versions will not have any issues. Okay, that is what we will try to do. Okay, but most of the time we will try to implement full-fledged YAML, then we will try to publish it. Okay, so let us try to check our Exchange and we will try to see what is published. Okay, so this one I published it, I got something. Okay, so I'm not liking this thing, I'm clicking on back to previous UI. Okay, even this UI is also fine, but at least let me click on back to previous UI. So here we are looking at what organization. Okay, so what kind of this thing? So it is a RESTful API. Who published it? When published it? Okay, visibility is equal to private, which means that only the members on my client, okay, who is having the access to this particular thing only can view this thing. If I'm trying to make it as public, okay, so I can make this particular thing visible to everyone, but I'm not going to do that because it is a system API. Only experience APIs you will try to do it. Okay, only very specific cases, but at least here we got a name. Okay, and we got some description. I need to add it some description. Okay, so here also I need to add some content. Okay, so here let us say OSVC system API. Okay, interact with Oracle Service Cloud using REST calls. I need to add some, some kind of description here. Okay, so I already have some name. I added some description. Okay, I need to add one more thing here. That is nothing but what you are actually doing here. Okay, the entire architectural document, you need to add it, or some snapshot of what you are actually doing inside this particular system API. Okay, so I'm saying organizations. Okay, under this I'm having something like post method. Okay, so for this one what we have is this particular architecture. Okay, so this one, it is linked, don't worry about it. Okay, so here I need to specify which applications are calling. Okay, so which application it is going to invoke? Who is going to call this particular system API? Ever call just suddenly?
Yes, please.
So experience API is going to call this particular thing. Okay, so this particular system API, this particular guy is going to call this thing. Okay, I need to specify this particular experience API name here. Okay, in my exchange. Okay, so invoking application is EA1001 SFDC. Okay, so let us try to check whether it is a correct name. Okay, so EA2001. Okay, sorry, my bad. EA2001 SFDC-V1. Okay, so this particular application is going to call it. So here also I need to add that particular exchange information. So that link I need to add it here. But right now we haven't created this particular experience API, but later point of time we are going to add it. Okay, so let me click on save as draft. Okay, so we will try to cut it down something like a very cropped image, but at least we don't require to do all this stuff. But at least you need to understand, hey, for this particular organization resource, a post method. So this is what the architectural document. Okay, so this is who is invoking it. This particular guy is invoking it. Okay, so what is that exchange information? All these things we will try to add, because every layer you need to add that particular documentation. Okay, it is not like, so you're developing it, publishing it, not adding anything. No, it is not like that. Okay, so once you added it, click on publish. This publish is to, apply your documentation. Okay, so here we export some endpoint, organization endpoint. If I'm clicking on this particular thing, it will show me all the things.
Umar, on
Okay, yeah.
if the request is coming from process API, then we can mention like process API.
Your voice is too. Can you a bit loud?
Yeah, if the request is coming from this process API, then we can mention like name
Yeah.
process
So if
API.
that, that's the correct statement. Okay. So here we are getting an experience API. So we are directly connecting from experience API. But in between, if you have a process API, you will try to specify your connected app is process API. So your invoking application is a process API. Okay. So here
But
we
this
are
is
getting,
two-layer architecture, right?
yeah, that's why we
Yeah,
mentioned this thing, right?
yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
now you are
So-
saying in between is there means then we have to mention like, no, you are saying, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
so if it is a process API is in between, so we are
Yes.
going to specify.
Yes.
Okay, now we
got
are this particular system API is calling by this particular
Yeah,
experience
yes,
API. That's
yes.
why we are specified that.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so here, if any person is looking at this particular, UI, okay, he can click on this particular organizations and he can click on this particular method. So he can actually look at this thing and he can understand, hey, this is expecting a client ID. This is expecting a client secret. Okay. It is expecting an application JSON. So it is expecting some example, something like that. Okay. So all these things we are mentioning in the RAML. Okay. So from RAML, it is creating this kind of UI guys. Okay. So if I'm saying 1, 2, 3, something, some client secret. Okay. For time's sake, if I'm clicking on send, okay, we are going to get this particular kind of response. So he can check each and everything. Okay, he can check, hey, at field level, what is expected? Okay, so string, it is required. Okay, so address, this is not required because we are not getting this thing. So it is an optional field. Okay, all this information he is going to get. Okay, so you need to create data types, you need to create resource types, you need to create traits, everything. So you need to construct in a proper way and you need to add the documentation and everything you need to add it because no one is going to call you or ask you how you implemented or what you have implemented. No. Okay, they will try to see this way. Okay, this is the standard way to do it. Okay, it is not like you're publishing it and not doing anything. No, it is not. Okay, you need to enrich everything, you need to add summaries. Even here you can add pages also. Okay, so you can add some pages also, but pages okay, so specification, they'll try to add a few more pages also guys. Okay, so which means that some functional stuff. Okay, why we are doing this particular API and everything, they will try to add it inside pages. Okay, but at least that I see whenever a MuleSoft organization is directly creating. Okay, but generally we will try to add this particular descriptions and titles, who is calling it, what is the architectural documents, everything we will try to specify inside your exchange. Okay, exchange will tell you all the story about that particular API, what it is expecting. Okay, how the design is, everything. Okay, any questions? Okay, so I'm stopping the session now, but at least the RAML side design we completed for this particular piece. Okay, and we need to update that particular status back to Jira. Okay, so the Jira task, they are going to assign it to you and you need to update each and every day, or not like each and every day. If you are really working on that, you need to update it. And if you are completing it, you are marking that particular thing to development. So you don't require to say, hey, lead or project manager, I completed this thing. No, you just need to update it here so they get to know. Okay, they will get a notification. saying that you updated this thing, you added this particular comment. Everything they will get an email, automatic email. Okay. Any questions?
In
Yeah, one.
You go on, Vanshi.
Yeah, we created some in the YAML like request type.
Mhm.
The same request fields customer needs to enter on ESP, right? Is it correct?
See, this particular system API, we will not give it to customer.
Okay.
Okay. We will give it to experience API people who is developing it.
Request field to where customer will enter.
Okay, so customer will not enter any fields. Customer will enter in SFDC application. So here they will try to enter it. Okay. So this is nothing but, okay. So just assume that this is an web application. Okay.
UI.
Our source system is web application. Take this way, guys. Okay. So let me try to do this. So you're just trying to add first name, last name, username, and something. The moment you are clicking on next, what will happen? They will try to call an API. Okay. If they are implementing inside our MuleSoft, what they will try to call? They will try to call an API named, something like Google, Experience API, Google Web Experience API. Okay, you're working for Google, so they will try to call a Web Experience API. So all these fields you will try to add it here, right? In this particular user interface, they will capture these fields and they will try to call this particular API. Okay, so that particular API is going to get those fields. Okay, and it will try to interact with the system API. Okay, so that is how they will try to do. They will not try to do it or enter any fields in our this thing exchange or anything. Okay, so it is just for testing purpose. In real time, they will try to enter into user interfaces. Okay, mobile applications they will try to enter. So they will try to enter SFDC screens. Okay, SCAP screens or something like that. So other tools they will try to enter it. But the moment we are clicking on next button or something, ultimately those developers, that particular software developers, what they will try to do, they will try to call our experience API. Our experience API will call this particular system API. This particular system API will call the target system. Okay, but for testing purpose, they can enter here. They can see this particular exchange, but we will only give the access to only experience APIs, not the system APIs. System APIs for our internal purpose. So only MuleSoft developers will try to see this thing, or whoever is having the access to as a developer or some role to your exchange, then only they can see it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
ఇప్పుడు చిన్న మిస్టేక్ ఉంటే చెప్పండి. నేను మామూలుగా ప్రాసెస్ చెప్తాను. అంటే నాకు అంటే అర్థమైన మటుకి ఫస్ట్ మనం ఒక ఈ సిస్టమ్ ఏపీఐ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. సిస్టమ్ ఏపీఐ క్రియేట్ చేసాక సేమ్ రెమెల్ ఇవంతా కూడా చేసి అదే మనం ఒక డెవలప్మెంట్లోకి వెళ్ళాక స్టూడియోలోకి వెళ్ళాక సేమ్ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ 8080 పోర్ట్తో దీన్ని అప్ టు పోస్ట్ మీద దాకా ఈ ఒక లింక్ జనరేట్ చేస్తాం దీనికి. తర్వాత సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏపీఐ కూడా చేసి దీన్ని అప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ చేసిన ఎస్సీని దీనిలో యూటిలైజ్ చేసి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏపీఐలో ఫైనల్గా ఒక లింక్ జనరేట్ చేస్తాం, ఒక ఏపీఐ. సో దాన్ని మనం ఎండ్ యూజర్కి ఇస్తాం, వాళ్ళు యూఐలో దాన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తారు, అంతే కదా? ఓకే.
Oh, that see the
ఇప్పుడు
entire steps
ఫ్లైట్
we
బుకింగ్
haven't.
కానీ ఓకే, ఫ్లైట్ బుక్ చేసిన ఇప్పుడు ఫ్లైట్ బుకింగ్స్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పిన యూఐ ప్రకారం అయితే ఫ్లైట్ బుక్ లో చేసినప్పుడు లోపల అంటే మన ఏపీఐ స్పెసిఫిక్ గా యూఐ వాళ్ళకి కనిపిస్తుంది, ఎండ్ యూజర్ కనిపిస్తూ లోపల డెవలపర్ దాన్ని ఆ ఏపీఐని ఇంక్లూడ్ చేసి రాస్తాడు అంతే, ఫ్రమ్ డేట్ టు డేట్ మేబీ, రైట్? ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. నేను తప్పులు ఉన్నాయంటారా? check no.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, so not only one guy, guys. Okay, so you just need to ask your questions if you really have something. Okay, or you are facing some issue, or my explanation is, you're not able to understand. You can convey that. No issue at all. Okay. So if you are not able to understand it, just try to tell me so that I can change my way of teaching or something like that. Okay. So anything. అంటే మీన్స్ మీరు క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగకపోతే నాకు తెలియదు అదేందా. సో ఎవ్రీ డే సో I will try to take the class like at least like 1 hour at least. Okay, I'll give a headroom for like 5 to 10 minutes for your questions. Okay, try to ask that questions. మీరు తెలుగులో అడిగినా పర్వాలేదు. Okay, so make sure that you clear your doubts, or whatever we are explaining, it is too heavy for you, or you're not able to understand, try to tell me. Okay, so I can explain in a different way. Okay, so I believe we can wrap the class. Okay, so we will have the class again on Monday at 9 o'clock. Okay, I'll try to share this particular recording also. Kishore is going to create a classroom, Google Classroom, and he is going to share it, and we will try to share your data mapping sheet and your architectural document also. You can actually practice it.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, already I created Google Classroom. I think still 7 members they didn't send mail ID. Try to send it immediately. I'll add now, or else I can add Monday also. Okay, if you want immediate basis, you just send it right away.